Hey guys, if you're a fan of city building games, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into the top new city building simulators of 2024. This year has brought us some incredible new titles that push the boundaries of creativity, strategy, and urban planning. Whether you're a seasoned city planner or just getting started, these games offer something for everyone. I'll start with Manor Lords. This is a medieval city-building strategy game where many of the buildings are inspired by real European structures from the 11th to the 15th centuries. The game features a dynamic system of seasons and weather conditions. Additionally, there are random events such as wars, famine, disease outbreaks, and more. As players progress, they develop their city, improve their army, fight for territories, and ensure the well-being of the local inhabitants. New Cycle. This post-apocalyptic strategy game puts the player in the role of the leader of a surviving settlement, tasked with rebuilding human civilization after a series of cataclysms and wars. The player must transform a small shelter into a thriving industrial megapolis. The path to civilization's revival will be challenging, as nature has fiercely fought to survive a solar flare. As the city's leader, the player must prepare for potential satellite crashes, harsh winters, and catastrophic fires. It will also be necessary to monitor the citizens' food supply, especially as the city grows. Reyes 2. In this game, players control giant godlike beings and their associated biomes, shaping planets and determining the aspirations of humanity. Their actions will guide and inspire humankind. Leaders, inventions, buildings, and development paths will all depend on the player's choices. This allows for experimentation, creating various planets and scenarios. Dystopica, a strategic sandbox game focused on city building, where players must construct not just any city, but a true cyberpunk megapolis. Players have access to various types of buildings, vibrant decorations, and advertising structures that allow them to recreate a futuristic atmosphere. The landscape in the game is procedurally generated, and there are no rigidly defined missions, so gamers can focus on bringing their creative visions to life. The Crust. This game is a mix between city-building simulators and Factorio, set in the context of realistic lunar colonization, meaning there are no magical technologies. Players build equipment for resource extraction and refinement, production chains, and increasingly complex technologies. Initially, small robots can handle tasks, but more advanced technologies will require colonists. A great feature is that players don't need to start with conveyor belts right away. Robots can deliver resources to production facilities in the beginning, allowing for gradual automation of production. Terrascape, a city-building game where players engage in exciting competition with other gamers. Players must manage a settlement and attempt to expand it, transforming it into a prosperous kingdom. Proper construction management is crucial, as each type of building has a specific purpose, enabling users to develop their domains in various directions. As for battles with opponents, it's important to score as many points as possible, as these determine the leader. The Universum. This is a god simulation game where players can create their own planets, civilizations, and empires. Throughout the gameplay, players will conduct technological and social research, colonize the galaxy, manage planetary systems, and guide their civilization from the Stone Age to the Space Age. Additionally, players have access to 15 divine abilities, including the power to summon devastating tornadoes, call down lightning strikes, or trigger earthquakes on planets. Gordlets is a relaxing sandbox game that focuses on creativity, allowing players to build charming towns for vegetable-like creatures without any stress or complex mechanics. The game's vibrant pixel art and soothing lo-fi music create a peaceful atmosphere, perfect for unwinding. The appeal of Gordlets lies in its simplicity and open-ended gameplay, which lets players freely design and decorate without constraints. Whiskerwood. This city-building strategy game tasks the player with constructing a home for hard-working mice, establishing production chains, developing trade, and protecting the city from the cat empire. Players will create their own production branches, explore the seas, and trade with other mouse factions. The key is to ensure that the trading partner is not a rat. Cataclysmo. This is a base-building strategy game where players construct fortresses to withstand countless waves of enemies. The game features various modes, such as a story campaign, manual map creation, and an endless mode with procedurally generated maps and enemy waves. Players must carefully plan each move, setting traps, assigning units, and organizing life within the settlement. Kingdoms Deck is an upcoming game that blends city building with deck building mechanics. In this strategy title, players are tasked with transforming a small hamlet into a powerful empire using a deck of cards. Each card represents different actions or resources, and players must strategically deploy them to expand their city, manage resources, and defend against invasions. The game offers a unique mix of gameplay styles, including base building, resource management, and tower defense, all set in a colorful medieval fantasy world. Endzone 2 is the sequel to the survival city-building game Endzone: A World Apart. This new title continues to challenge players with harsh environments and the need to build and maintain multiple settlements in a post-apocalyptic world. The game introduces dynamic exploration mechanics, where players must physically venture into the wasteland to discover and secure new resources, making survival even more complex and rewarding. The game will launch in early access, offering a robust experience right from the start, including procedural map generation, multiple settlements, and enhanced graphical fidelity. Worshippers of Cthulhu is an upcoming Lovecraftian city builder where players step into the role of a cult leader tasked with awakening the ancient cosmic entity, Cthulhu. Set for release in October 2024, the game combines traditional city-building mechanics with dark, eldritch themes, requiring players to manage resources, perform rituals, and navigate the thin line between sanity and madness. Your goal is to create a thriving cult by expanding your cities across various islands, managing your followers, and performing sacrificial rituals to keep Cthulhu satisfied. Nova Roma is an upcoming city-building strategy game from Lion Shield, the developers behind Kingdoms and Castles. Set during the twilight of the Roman Empire, the game challenges players to establish and expand a new Roman city in an unexplored land. As the leader, you'll need to manage resources, develop infrastructure, and appease both the citizens and the gods to build a thriving civilization. The game introduces several intriguing mechanics, such as a dynamic water system where players must carefully plan and construct dams, aqueducts, and reservoirs to control water flow and prevent disasters like floods. Additionally, you'll need to maintain complex supply chains, manage seasonal changes, and navigate the whims of Roman deities, who can bless or devastate your city based on your actions. Memoriapolis. Set across 4 historical eras, Antiquity, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and the Age of Enlightenment, players are tasked with developing a city that evolves naturally over time. One of the standout features of Memoriapolis is its emphasis on organic city growth. Unlike traditional city builders where players manually design roads and neighborhoods, this game allows districts to develop naturally based on your decisions and the city's overall attractiveness. Norland. The events of this game unfold in a brutal medieval world. Players control a noble family, facing challenges such as crime, bloody revolts, religious conflicts, betrayals, secret assassinations, and war. Throughout the game, you must manage your noble family, build up defenses and the economy, gather an army to wage war against neighboring kingdoms, and make various decisions during events on the global map. Masters of Albion. is an upcoming God game. Announced at Gamescom 2024, this game marks Molyneux's return to the genre he helped popularize with titles like Black and White and Fable. Set in the mythical world of Albion, players take on the role of a powerful deity, managing a civilization during the day and defending it from nighttime threats. The game features a mix of God mode city building and third-person combat, offering a blend of strategic planning and direct action. Players can expect to control everything from their villagers' livelihoods to engaging in battles against mythical creatures. The game promises a rich, narrative-driven experience with moral choices and an evolving world. Frostpunk 2 is shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated city building and survival games of 2024, developed by 11-Bit Studios. Set 30 years after the events of the original game, this sequel takes place in a world still gripped by a relentless volcanic winter. The stakes are higher than ever, as players must not only ensure the survival of their city, but also navigate the complex dynamics of an evolving society. One of the key new features is the introduction of faction-based politics. Your city's population is divided into different communities with distinct philosophies, such as the Machinists and the Foragers. These groups often have conflicting ideas about how to survive and thrive, forcing players to make difficult moral decisions that could either unite or divide their citizens. From medieval cities to post-apocalyptic worlds, from wielding divine powers to building defensive fortresses, there's something here for everyone. I hope you've discovered a variety of exciting strategy games. Have a nice day.